At 60, Elena Muller lived with a spark that life just couldn't extinguish. Nestled in a quiet German town near Munich, she was the picture of graceful aging, daily walks, morning yoga, and a quiet dignity. But beneath this serene surface, a storm was brewing. After her husband's passing, Elena moved in with her son's family. What started as a comforting arrangement soon turned into a quiet, suffocating pressure cooker. Her life savings became the unspoken topic at every family gathering. Her son, Marcus, had dreams of a tech startup. Her daughter-in-law, Sophie, envisioned a boutique. Suddenly, Elena wasn't just a mother and grandmother, she was a walking, talking ATM. She paid her share, cooked, cleaned, and cared for the kids, but her presence felt conditional, her value reduced to the balance in her bank account. She was loved, but only for what she could provide. In this lonely chapter, a new light appeared. Luca Moretti, a 32-year-old Italian caregiver. He visited weekly to help with her physical therapy, but their sessions quickly became more than just exercises. Luca saw who? Here, not as a burden, not as an old woman, but as a Lena woman with dreams, a sharp wit, and a heart full of stories. He listened with a kindness she hadn't felt in years. Their connection grew, slowly and organically, into a deep, unspoken bond. When Elena finally admitted her desire to live independently with Luca, her family's reaction was swift and brutal. Outrage, disgust. They called her selfish, irresponsible, unstable. The age gap, a 60-year-old woman and a 32-year-old man, became a weapon they used to shame her. The emotional manipulation was relentless. Silent treatments, guilt trips, and cutting remarks designed to break her spirit. For weeks, Elena was trapped in a war within her own heart. She loved her family, but love without respect felt like a beautifully decorated cage. One chilly afternoon, after another painful argument over her money, she made a choice. She packed a bag, paid her rent for the month, and left for Milan, where Luca lived with his sister. There, away from the judgment, they talked openly about everything: money, boundaries, expectations. They teased each other, laughed, and laid their hearts bare. But real life isn't a fairy tale. Their initial plans didn't align perfectly. Their visions for the future clashed, and heartbroken, Elena returned to Munich. She had been brave, but it felt like she had failed. Her family saw her return as a confirmation of their predictions. Their eyes were cold, their silence thick with unspoken words. "We told you so and so." To mend the rift, Elena tried to buy back their affection. She spent more on groceries, bought gifts, and forced smiles through dinners that felt like funerals. The silence in her own room at night screamed louder than any forced laughter ever could. A week later, something inside Elena shifted for good. This time, when she packed her bag, there was no hesitation. She returned to Luca, not in defeat, but with clarity. She accepted his terms with honesty and a playful roll of her eyes, ready to build a life on mutual respect, not one-sided sacrifice. Their new life in Italy was filled with simple joys. Morning cappuccinos, evening walks along the Navigli canals, and conversations that stretched late into the night. It was a life of shared laughter and genuine warmth. Just as she was finally breathing freely, life threw its cruelest punch, a devastating diagnosis: liver disease. The news hit them both like a tidal wave. Luca, who had lost his own mother to the same illness years ago, was terrified. The old trauma resurfaced, and for a moment he was about to leave by the memories of fear. But the memory of his mother's final days, his regret for not doing more, became his strength. He returned to Elena, tears in his eyes, and made a promise: "I will not abandon you." Together, they faced the battle of her life. The hospital visits, the strict diets, the sleepless nights filled with pain. Luca was there for every single moment. He held her hand through every injection, every wave of nausea, every tear she shed in the dark. He was her rock, her anchor, her proof that love could be a verb. 3 months later, a miracle. Elena's scans came back clear. She had fought the disease, and she had won. When the news of her recovery reached her family in Germany, it was followed by a tidal wave of guilt. They showed up at her door in Italy, full of apologies, desperate pleas, and promises of change. They wanted her to come home. Elena listened with a calm, compassionate heart. She forgave them. But she refused to go back. Forgiving didn't mean forgetting the lessons she had learned. She had finally learned to choose herself. Elena didn't just return to her life with Luca. She built a new one. She joined a senior wellness group near the stunning Lake Como, surrounding herself with new friends, breathtaking nature, and a profound sense of freedom. She found joy again in the simplest things: the warmth of the morning sun, the gentle stretch of a yoga pose, and the unwavering love of a man who saw her, truly saw her, for who she was. Elena's journey was messy, judged, and unconventional. A woman at 60 daring to demand happiness, to choose love on her own terms. People whispered, they criticized, they doubted, but she proved that courage has no age limit and happiness has no expiration date. In the end, Elena didn't just find a new love. She found herself, and that was her greatest victory. Thank you for watching. If Elena's story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that celebrates the power of the human spirit. Stay blessed, stay happy, stay lovable, stay strong. Bye. Bye.